Hi guys, welcome back to ThinkView. This is the latest Dell XPS 15, model 9500. I've used this for a couple of weeks now, and what I figure out is if it wasn't for the many laptops that came out in the last few years targeting creators and the multimedia sector, we might have had to wait much longer for this new and reinvented XPS 15, because without competition, Dell might not have felt the need for change. And finally, after almost 5 years of keeping the same design language, Dell has given the XPS line a complete new outfit. It has many positive changes, both inside and out. Furthermore, this year, the XPS 15 also received some very strong spec upgrades, making it as powerful as an actual gaming laptop. The Intel Core i7-10750H together with the GTX 1650 Ti graphics card. On paper, it's even more powerful than a lower-end sort of entry-level gaming laptop. And apart from this version, you can also upgrade it to the i7-10850H and a 4K display. Dell also said there's going to be a Core i9 version, but based on past experience, I'm not really looking forward to that one. Okay, with all that said, I'm lucky enough to have what I think is the most worth buying option here with me. So, let's see what this thing is capable of. Okay, I'm gonna start with my experience with the new design, because that's what Dell have invested a lot into in this year's XPS line. It really doesn't look like much at first, but turns out there's actually a lot of changes. I'm gonna talk about the things that affect your experience the most. One small change that maybe not many people notice but brings about a great deal of improvement is the aluminum panel underneath the machine. This year, the aluminum rounds up to cover the edges of the machine, which is slightly brushed, giving it a very classy look. In previous models, the edges are made of carbon fiber, connected to the palm rest and the keyboard frame. They'll say that this reinforced the machine's durability, and I can clearly feel this when I hold it on my hands. The frame feels much more solid and steady. I can even rest my whole elbow on it without worrying because it's so sturdy. And just from looking at it, this change already makes the whole thing look much better. Everything looks more symmetrical and more metallic, which often equates premiumness. Carbon fiber is inherently a premium material, but it can look and feel quite plasticky. The next design change that affects your experience is the hinge. Dell got rid of the solid, long, one-piece hinge and replaced it with a 3-module form. This makes for a much smoother and more comfortable opening and closing feel. I believe that you can feel this very clearly from the very first touch. However, it's still a bit hard to open because Dell still don't include a cutout latch for opening, like the MacBook or the Razer Blade. This has long been a weakness of the XPS line since it uses the soft and thin carbon fiber material to construct the frame, so it's harder to create lines or shapes or foldings or cutouts, etc. Dell have tried to fix this by making the top panel a tiny bit wider than the base panel, so it has a bit of a protruding space to put your finger underneath. But still, it doesn't feel completely effortless to open this machine. But on the other hand, the carbon fiber provides a very comfortable using experience, nice and soft surface to put your hands on. No need to worry about accumulating dirt or sweats, and it also limits the amount of heat coming from the inside, thus increasing the machine's durability. So, I do have mixed feelings about this carbon fiber material, but if you think about it, if the XPS also used unibody aluminum, then it would look just like a MacBook. Talking about resembling the MacBook, the two speakers are now along the sides of the keyboard. This is one of the things that would help you instantly tell this 9500 apart from last year's 9570 model. However, the sound quality is still pretty far behind the MacBook. The keyboard is also renovated with larger and more solid keycaps, so the typing feel is much better. The very special thing is the touchpad. It is now 52% larger than its predecessor. Wow, finally, there's a Windows manufacturer who recognized the importance of a great touchpad in affecting user experience. And what would be even greater is to change the touchpad's technology, possibly getting rid of the two left and right click buttons, which make the touchpad slanted downwards. Nevertheless, the keyboard and touchpad experience of the XPS 9500 is already the best amongst Windows laptops. Apart from the things that they've learned from the MacBook, Dell has also made a difference with the 4 super thin bezels surrounding a 16:10 display. It looks super sexy. The good thing about the super thin bezels display is that it can greatly increase your concentration level. It's almost like you're actually inside the dimension of the screen. This feeling is much clearer on this one than on the 9300, thanks to the larger screen. Especially if I'm writing, doing office works, this machine provides a very high level of concentration and productivity. This is also thanks to the very true colors of this IPS panel. Although this is only the standard version with Full HD resolution, it's still very easy to recognize the difference in terms of color accuracy compared to normal IPS panels. Color gamuts are all close to 100%, better than the 9570 without sacrificing contrast, and very good brightness. Normally, if I'm working indoors, I only need to set it at 40%. Thanks to the high brightness levels, you can also enjoy HDR contents very well. In general, this is one of the best displays on the market right now. Very good for designers or those who do stuff that are color and image related. If you have the extra budget, you could also buy the 4K version. Its colors will even be more truthful and accurate. The super thin upper bezel is still able to hold the webcam and the facial recognition sensor. Webcam and microphone quality is good. I can comfortably do video calls on it at night and there's no problem at all. Pretty high quality. And talking about quality, you definitely can't skip performance. Never before that the performance of a multimedia laptop can allow you to game comfortably like this. This machine uses the GTX 1650 Ti. I can easily reach 200 FPS with CSGO, or any other heavy games are all easily playable on this ultra-thin machine at high settings. However, thermals is not a strong point of this machine. Temperatures go up very high when gaming. CPU is up to 100 degrees Celsius and throttling. The graphics card also gets warm after that, and performance drops. This is understandable because this is not a gaming laptop, but still, if you want to play, it can handle any games available right now. On the other hand, the machine stays nice and cool during multimedia tasks, thanks to the power of the 6-core 12-thread CPU. For example, I did some 2D designing with Photoshop and Illustrator. Multi-core clock speed of the 10750H goes up to 4.3 GHz or cores, so you can work with heavy and large files. And temperatures only stay at around 70 degrees Celsius. However, switching over to videos, it can handle that pretty well too, but it can't keep the highest level of performance for very long and can't fully utilize the power of the hardware for the same reason, thermals. So yeah, I don't think very highly of the 9500's cooling system. It's fine, just nothing exceptional. About upgradability, very good. 2 RAM slots and 2 M.2 SSD slots. Plenty for your storage needs. The 97 Wh battery provides decent use time. If I start the day with a full battery and only write contents, web surf, and sometimes watch videos, it's only down to about 30% in the late afternoon. I think it can stay up to roughly 9 hours with 40 to 50% brightness. I/O is another strong point of this machine. Well, it might actually be a minus for a lot of people because it's the first in the XPS line to eliminate all the other ports like USB-A or HDMI. But the good thing is we have 3 Type-C Thunderbolt 3 ports and an SD card slot. Perfect for those who work in multimedia. Summing up, the XPS 9500 is the perfect combination between the beauty of the external design and internal quality. Quality in terms of durability of the display, keyboard, touchpad to performance. Every details, even the smallest ones, have been carefully renovated by Dell to bring their premium Ultrabook to a whole new level, a new standard for the multimedia laptop. And you could say that this machine has set the bar very high for Windows multimedia laptops in 2020. However, this bar is not that hard to reach or surpass because there's still many details that Dell or other manufacturers can continue to improve, like sound quality, the cooling system, or the touchpad. These could all be even better. Okay, what do you guys think about this machine? I intentionally focus more on actual using experience rather than specs and tests, because at the end of the day, that's what you're spending money on. Do you prefer this approach? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next videos.